I'm very happy to report that chains are one of the easiest things to order for your bike because all you have to do is count the number of cogs in your cassette, and that's it.
It's pretty hard to think about mountain bikers on YouTube without thinking of Seth Alvo. Famously known for creating Seth's Bike Hacks and then Berm Park, we recently traveled out to Asheville, North Carolina to hang out with Seth and do a really fun interview documentary, which we will link down below.
So today I want to give you, I'm gonna start that one over.
So we were fortunate enough that our trip to Berm Peak to film this documentary coincided with a film day that Seth had already planned with his in-house videographer.
You ever see a YouTuber get really, really big and then they just disappear?
Yeah.
And then they resurfaced 2 years ago and they're like, yeah, I got addicted to crack. Like they're
So we took advantage of the opportunity to kind of sit back, watch the master at work. Of course, we wanted to try to pick his brain and ask a few questions to see how we could improve the content we create and what exactly goes into being a full-time YouTube creator and what sort of thought process and workload it takes to make a video on this scale.
That's how we do it. So today, I want to put out in the universe an overview of a bicycle that you can use so you can look up your own parts and you know what to actually Google there, because the truth is, without knowing a lot of specifics about your bike, I can't even give you the answer. And just like me asking Bill Nye when the solar eclipse is, there are quicker ways to find things out. Welcome back to Berm Peak. I'm Seth, and today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, but kind of the same.
One of the most impressive things about Seth's personality, both on screen and off screen, is that it's genuinely the same. He is a funny...
I don't know what happened. It's weird because
you're 2 inches away,
I'm so close to you and I'm still getting your entire...
I know.
Got a great sense of humor and is passionate about his craft. Not only creating trails and fun stunts to ride, but also creating the video content and bike riding in general. And it was really cool to see how even so many years later, his passion, the amount of fun, and his level of enthusiasm for creating good quality content has remained the same.
I'm not gonna get into a whole discussion about rim widths because this video will never end. So first of all, I should hope you're looking for mountain bike wheels in the first place because they're a little bit different than road wheels and BMX wheels and things like that. But there's only two sizes right now, 27.5 and 29 on modern bikes. If you're using an older mountain bike and it's got a little bit of a smaller wheel, that's gonna be 26. And if it's a kid's bike, now you're just in a different category. If you have any question of what size the wheel is, just look at the tire.
You know, in front of the camera, and how much time do you put in behind the computer and brainstorming and all that?
It's a full-time job. It's definitely more than 40 hours a week. The thing is, I used to work a whole lot more. I used to work 7 days a week, pretty much. And now that I have a daughter, I can't really do that. And so I decided, like, kind of a year before she was born, like, okay, I have to start figuring out a way to, like, be done at 5:36 and, like, not work the weekend. Mm-hmm. So every once in a while I have to snag a Saturday or Sunday because maybe the weather during the week doesn't work out. Every once in a while I gotta work a night. I pull all-nighters during the week sometimes to make it work, but it's more efficient than it was. And honestly, like, I'm not in my heavy growth phase like I was. When I was building the channel up to what it is now, I mean, there were some months where we would get like 50,000 subscribers in 1 month. I don't do that anymore because I'm not putting in the work. Right. It's totally to scale with how much work you put in. Mm-hmm. But I'm okay with that now because I gotta also have a life.
Yeah. What percent would you say is conceptualizing, researching, prepping for videos? I mean, I imagine you do quite a bit of that, right? Or do you just...
Yeah, I do quite a bit of it, but like today's video, I sat down for about a half hour this morning and made a list and thought some things through and just, you know, and I have a pretty good mental inventory of like what parts and things I have. And so, yeah, that was only like a half hour. We didn't leave anything out. This video will be going on for 9 or 10 days. And I wanted to give you a basic overview and get you more comfortable Googling it instead of asking me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something today. And if you didn't, I hope you at least found it entertaining. Thanks for riding with me today, and I'll see you next time. There's this little jump right over here.
Yeah.
That's just a setup jump.
Okay.
So you can see the landing super close to it.
Yep.
So if you just catch this perfectly, you know you're gonna have the perfect speed for the airbag jump.
Oh my God. That's a big surprise when you round that corner.
I know, that's a real lip. Like,
Oh man.
I have family, so my wife's like, yeah, build whatever you want as long as I can't see it. So
It's behind the tree.
yeah, so it's behind the rhododendrons. So we set up the airbag. There's like a spot cut out over there in the gravel road that the airbag goes. And yeah, it's a moon booter for sure. That's awesome though that you just went in blind and hit it. That's freaking so sick.
So while many of Seth's videos do take place in the studio and are very information and product based, he really loves building unique features, trail obstacles, and having fun outside. This trip also coincidentally worked up with a big reveal of the Snake Pit 2.0. So after we wrapped up inside the studio, we were lucky enough to go outside and even be offered the opportunity to try the stunt out ourselves.
So Drew just turned in his rental bike, but Kevin just said, hey, I think my bike fits you. And now he's getting some bad ideas. Oh, I feel like you might have it. That feature over there that I built, at least half of the time was getting materials. Was like going to the other part of the yard and hiking into the woods and loading it into the gator and bringing it over there and then staging it and then, oh crap, where are the felling wedges? You know, like all that stuff. Oh, okay, this battery ran out. Okay, I have to set up another camera. Actually building the freaking thing, you gotta set 5 posts in the ground, you gotta screw some things in, you know? It takes all week when you're filming it, and I also didn't have that thing totally drawn up. I said, okay, let me see what materials I have, and let me start building something and see what it is. That usually makes for a more interesting video. And I knew I wanted one of them to go higher. I knew I wanted to go to slope down. I knew I wanted the gap to be bigger, but I didn't know that it was gonna look exactly like that before I started it. And so there's a ton of stuff that's not on camera that takes up the majority of the time, and it's not very interesting. Before we get started, I have to make some revisions to the teeter-totter. When this thing slams down with all the force of a bicycle, the posts tend to pop out of the ground a little bit, and it doesn't seem to affect the way the teeter-totter works, but over time they're gonna loosen up. So we're gonna dig down, I'm gonna put some bracing in there, we're gonna put it back together, and then once the teeter-totter is dialed, we're gonna start figuring out how we can turn this into a cannon.
We hope you guys had a great time checking out Berm Peak, learning a little bit more about Seth's operations. We would like to extend a huge thank you to Seth for taking time to answer our questions, offer us some advice, and just giving us a glimpse behind the curtain to see what it's like for such a successful YouTuber in his creation process and filming. It definitely helped with some of our upcoming projects, even inspired us to remodel our workshop here at home. And in the words of Seth,
Thanks for riding with me today. I'll see you next time.